seems like nowadays there are so many fitness gurus who are trying to sell people on products that they claim instantly help shred fat and build muscle. But it isn't really necessary or that complicated to achieve most people's goals of getting that lean summer bod to show up at the beach. Throughout my years in the gym, from what I've seen, people just need a bit of clear direction and determination to help push past their fitness precipice to get the look they desire. Fortunately, I will share with you the 10 most important tips to build muscle and lose fat at the same time, with the last being the most important in my opinion during my own fitness journey. Focus on resistance training 3 to 4 times a week. Many tend to think doing cardio is the main way to lose fat and get lean. Focusing on resistance training is significantly more important. Resistance training is also known as anaerobic exercise, which will burn calories for up to 48 hours while building muscle simultaneously as the muscle tissues repair after. This phenomenon is known as excess post-exercise energy consumption, or EPOC for short. With regular cardio or aerobic exercise, the calorie burning only occurs throughout the workout and none after. This is not me saying that cardio doesn't contribute to fat loss, but resistance training is way more effective in doing so. Often you'll see many people in the gym, especially girls, focusing on cardio because they think resistance training will make them look bulky and not get the lean look they are looking for, but that is not the case. Resistance training will help everyone achieve their fitness goals if done correctly. Doing resistance training 3 to 4 times a week or every other day will help give your body the proper time to recover fully from your previous workout, as well as properly utilize the effects of EPOC that I mentioned earlier. I suggest keeping your workout split pretty simple if you're just starting out, as you will see many rapid gains if you're just starting to take working out seriously and consistent with your effort. For example, Monday focusing on back and biceps, Wednesday on legs and core, and chest, shoulders, and triceps on Friday. 2. Progressive overload and gaining strength through key lifts. Progressive overload is the concept of increasing the weight, frequency, or number of reps during resistance training. This will help in breaking through any strength plateau you encounter throughout your fitness journey. In terms of building muscle while losing fat at the same time, progressive overload through trying to gain as much strength through increasing the weight of your key lifts will make sure you are maximizing your muscle potential, as your strength directly correlates with your lean muscle mass. An example of progressive overload would be increasing my bench press from 135 pounds for 10 reps to 140 pounds for 8 reps. Even if I'm doing less reps, this will trigger a muscle breakdown and repair within your body. Make sure when you are increasing the weight on your lifts to go by small increments. 5 to 10 pound increases will be normal for beginners, but as you progress, start using lighter weights like a 2.5 pound weight you have in your gym to ensure you keep building strength. To pair with your progressive overloading strategy, we'll focus on 5 key strength exercises to progress in. These exercises will be bench press, deadlifts, squats, pull-ups, and dips. The main exercises listed are major compound movements that will trigger muscle growth throughout the body and will allow you to apply a heavy load to maximize your strength as you progressively overload. For bench press, you can switch between using dumbbells and barbells as you see fit to push past plateaus. For deadlifts, you can try different variations such as a Romanian deadlift or deadlifts with a trap bar. For squats, you can either do back or front squats and alternate between these every few months or so. Dips and pull-ups tend to be harder for people to perform when starting out, as they require a lot of body strength. First, you should be able to do a set of 10, then I would suggest adding a weighted vest or belt to increase the load. Maintain a small calorie deficit. To lose body fat, you must be eating at a caloric deficit. You see a lot of people think that they can just lift and that will cause them to shred fat, and it can work to a point, but to achieve the most success when trying to lose fat, eating a caloric deficit and paying attention to your diet in general is just as important. To find the amount of calories you should consume to stay in a caloric deficit, it takes a simple equation. You take your current body weight, multiply it by 15, and then subtract the number by 500 to get your caloric deficit roughly. For example, my body weight is 180 pounds. To get my maintenance caloric intake, I multiply that by 15, which is 2,700. Then I subtract by 500 to get 2,200, which will be the amount of calories I aim for to cut fat while still being able to promote muscle growth. Make sure not to restrict yourself too low on calories, as this can lead to potential muscle loss, and we also want you to feel healthy and not strain your body without the nutrients it needs. Eat 0.8 to 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Making sure that you're getting the right amount of protein intake is very important for building and preserving the muscle that you have. You want to make sure that even though you're cutting, that you have a high protein intake as a part of your diet, as this is vital to building and repairing your muscle, especially when you'll be in a caloric deficit. This will be a key factor in getting that lean look you're going for, as you must remember we are trying to maximize as much lean muscle as possible while eating in a caloric deficit. With the example of someone being 180 pounds, the goal would be to eat 144 to 180 grams of protein per day. I totally understand you guys may be trying to cut on a budget, and food is getting very expensive out there, so you should be on the lookout for the best deals you can find on items like ground beef, chicken, eggs, and more foods with high amounts of protein. Reduce carb intake. Along with being in a caloric deficit while maintaining a high protein diet, I believe you should be reducing your carb intake. No, this doesn't mean taking carbs completely out of your diet, but this means that it should be significantly reduced. You'll realize with the protein and caloric requirements already built in, you won't have much space for a lot of carbs in your diet anyway. What I noticed during my own fitness journey is that having too many carbs often makes you bloated and feel tired, while being on a higher protein diet, you're satiated and can still get along with your day without the feeling of having to take an afternoon nap. Being on a lower carb diet has been shown to help with metabolism as well, which is key in your fat burning journey. Some suggestions I would add is to focus on eating good complex carbs, as they are packed with nutrients like fiber and digest more slowly, which makes them more filling. With that, you should limit the amount of complex carbs that contain high levels of starch, as these are the carbs that give you that lethargic feeling. Some examples of complex carbs with high levels of starch would be rice, spaghetti, and bread. To avoid eating carbs like these, I like to make a smoothie with mixed berries during the middle of my day, as this has been one of my staples in my diet where my carbs are sourced from. If you are following along, you should take away from this that carbs are very important in providing energy to our bodies throughout the day, but we don't want too much starch in our bodies, so we don't get that super tired feeling as it digests. If you agree with me that feeling sucks, hit that like button and leave a comment below. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is a great way to control your diet and caloric intake by focusing on eating only during a certain time window. Intermittent fasting helps boost your metabolism as you go for hours without eating. The body exhausts its sugar stores and starts burning fat. This is also known as metabolic switching. Intermittent fasting works by prolonging the period when your body has burned through the calories consumed during your last meal and begins burning fat. I know this goes against our typical diets where we are constantly eating throughout the day, no matter the circumstances. At first, it will take your body a bit of time to acclimate to your new eating structure, but you must push past the precipice, where it will be a struggle at first and you'll thank me later. For my intermittent fasting schedule, I typically don't eat for the first 6 hours of my day or so. So let's say from 6 a.m. to noon, I will not eat and then will have my first meal then. During those 6 hours, however, I'll have some black coffee and water to sustain myself till then. A typical intermittent fasting schedule is broken up by 16 hours not eating and having an 8-hour window in the day to eat. You'll also notice that this will lead to more optimal digestion of your food, as you will typically eat your last meal earlier and have nothing after, will promote better sleep along with proper digestion. Drinking 2 liters of water a day. Drinking about 2 liters of water a day will go a long way in your muscle building and fat loss journey. When you drink a lot of water, it helps reduce hunger cravings you will get throughout the day here and there, and it also helps keep away you from sugary drinks that add unnecessary calories to your diet. Also, drinking lots of water has been shown to increase the amount of calories you burn, which is also known as resting energy expenditure. You may be struggling to drink the amount of water in a day, as you may not be used to that as well. Something I find helpful to keep up with drinking about 2 liters of water a day is buying a 40-ounce hydro flask and making sure that I'm filling it up 2 to 3 times per day. Keeping your water bottle around you as you work or go about your day is key in remembering to consistently drink it throughout the day. Make sure to track your workout and diet. This is something I didn't pay attention to nearly as much as I started my own journey, but you shouldn't make the same mistake. It may seem easy to remember everything you're doing in the gym and eating, but it is best practice to make sure you're writing down your workouts in your notes of your phone and tracking your weight and reps as you continually progress and overload. It will make it significantly easier for you to progress and notice the tangible changes in your strength and help you set goals for yourself to reach. With your diet, you should track it in an app like MyFitnessPal, so you're correctly estimating your calories and protein intake each day. This is something I'd recommend when starting out to understand what you're eating, and after you get the consistency of your diet down, you won't need it as much, as you'll get a feel for the amount of macronutrients you're taking in as your diet becomes more consistent and tailored. Additionally, when you want to make slight tweaks to your diet or your workout, it'll be easy for you to do so. Tracking both your workout and diet will help you become more disciplined, increase your motivation, and keep you committed to your plan. Getting proper sleep and recovery. One of the most important aspects of building muscle is to make sure you're getting enough sleep to allow your body to maximize the muscle repair process as you rest. Sleep has a direct effect on your insulin levels and the role of insulin to shuttle amino acids, also known as the building blocks of protein, into cells to be used for protein synthesis and storage. Also, you release growth hormone during sleep more than you do at any other time. Growth hormone is a vital part of muscle repair, so if you have a bad rest or don't get enough sleep, this can be severely impacted. In fact, research has shown that reductions in sleep duration can lead to a catabolic environment in your muscles, which means your body is breaking down and you're losing lean muscle mass. With that, you should set the right environment before you go to bed with no electronics for at least an hour before you go to bed and turn off the lights to try to get the best rest possible. Your goal should be to get between 6 to 8 hours of sleep a night. Some of you may be at the lower end of the range. Don't worry, some people just naturally require less sleep and tend to get up earlier no matter what, and there isn't important forcing yourself to get an extra hour of sleep. Make sure to get as close as possible to 10,000 steps a day. The final tip, which is personally my favorite and believe it's great to ensure maximum fat loss while building muscle, is to try to get as close as possible to 10,000 steps a day you can. You'll often see so many people doing these intense cardio workouts claiming they're burning so much fat, but all they're doing is putting themselves in a state of great hunger. Don't get me wrong, there's benefit in doing HIIT workouts to improve your cardiovascular strength and athletic ability, but in terms of purely losing fat and building muscle, it can do more harm than good. Typically, after you do a workout like this, you are so exhausted and it sparks your hunger cravings massively, which tends to lead people to overeating to compensate for how they are feeling. It sounds so simple, but just going for a walk or two throughout the day has tremendous fat loss benefits without increasing your appetite, messing with your muscle recovery, or making you feel tired. You also must remember that most of your fat loss is going to be triggered by your diet and being in a caloric deficit, so having intense cardio sessions is not to your benefit. These are some of my guiding principles that I followed along my fitness journey and have helped me maintain a healthy lifestyle. I hope these 10 tips here help you as much as they did for me. Please subscribe below if you wish to continue to get knowledge about fitness and nutrition as you push past your precipice.